Anyway, let's do it. Let's find out how good or bad this draft was. Oh my God, the home run derby is at Coors. And Juan Guerrero is going. It's been a long time since he went to the free agent list. And he's having the best season of his career. If Salt was piled to represent my amount of salt, it would reach the fucking moon. I'm skipping it. I don't even care. Too salty. Who made the All-Star game for us? Russell Hiller. Having a very good year. Russell Hiller. And what is this? It's the fucking opposite day? We just had 2 starting pitchers make the All-Star game. Former Rookie of the Year, Russell Hiller, and Grant Riley. No relievers. Nobody at catcher. Justin Brown, of course, made it at first base. Ricky Gutierrez is down to an 86. Ooh, his overall's in free fall. He's dropped about 8 points now in 2 seasons. Yet he's having his best career at the plate ever. Uh-huh. That's it. But we do have a couple of All-Stars this year, you'd hope, as the best damn team in the majors. All right. Today is the day to start signing draft picks. Let's hope we can get this business taken care of quickly. Russell Crosby is here. Fernandez is here. Jim Wise declines. We got Bonilla, who also declines. Mac, I can go back and check. McLeod also declines. Jesus, you boys are selfish. Selfish, I say. All right, we'll put Bonilla in that final spot. Yeah, so in terms of the high OVRs, you do have Justin Brown as the 95. No 99 second baseman. There is a 99 overall shortstop. And Daniel Cedeno, though. Or Cedeno, I suppose. Who was a Red and now isn't. Cincinnati in the mud. If you've missed anything, then guess what? You haven't missed anything. That's how you sum up how this franchise has gone. Mr. Bonilla signs. What about the others? Wise declines again. McLeod signs. And we are down to 3 players who have yet to sign. Again, we have still only ever had 2 people refuse to sign with us in this entire run. Wise is on. Billy Floyd is on. So we just await our 9th overall pick, Oliver Perez. As we sweep the Angels, we'll offer Oliver all the money. And he signs. So we got everybody. 3 games against San Diego. We do lose that series. We lose the series to Philadelphia. Split games with Detroit. And can't quite sweep Milwaukee. All right. How good is it going to be? Let's find out. Pretty typical Pirates pick. Not great, not bad. Project and Oliver Perez. He'll obviously be a few years away from competing, but he is only 18 years old, so it's not bad. Okay, that's our first decent miss in a while. His eyes look like my eyes when I see that we somehow lost again. Yeah, Russell Crosby, not great. Not great. Christopher Fernandez, not great. Shaping up to be maybe our worst draft ever. Bonilla, 51 overall is a little bit low, so that sucks. McLeod does have an A potential, but he's only a 50 at 21. Billy Floyd's only a 49 at 22. And Jim Wise was a bit of a steal. He's not all that much worse than Perez. All in all, an okay draft. Certainly not anything too crazy. Yeah, definitely not anything too crazy for a draft. That's one of our weaker ones. I don't know if it's our outright worst. I'm not even going to bother looking at B potential players now. It's only going to be A potentials at this stage. Because when you've gone through 20 god darn drafts, you eventually get tired of looking at the other team's successes. Giants got Corey Suggs, a starter. Not bad. Jose Ruiz just missed being an A. Pretty rough draft there for the Yankees. A real lack of A potential prospects. Brutal draft for the Blue Jays there, though. And for the White Sox. Only one A potential prospect in this entire draft so far. So if we were to pick a year to have a bit of a weaker draft, well, that explains why. It's just apparently a weaker draft in general. Eddie York would have been decent. Yeah. One A potential prospect. One. Wow. 2. Fernando Barrero. Starting pitcher to the Cubs. Who's okay but not great. 3 with closer Marty Simon, who was the projected first overall pick. 4 with Benito Pena, another closer. And the first overall pick, Carlos Hernandez, was also okay. So, was it the Mets that had Irizarry? Yes. And he's solid. He's solid. Is he that much better than who we drafted? Not really. I'm sure our guy will be a 68 within 4 years. Oh, by the way, the Mets also had, or not the Mets, the Brewers also had Chris Osborne. Very good pick for them. Very few A potential prospects in this draft. They got 2 of them. Probably should have gone for shortstop James McLeod, except we did because it's Pittsburgh. So we did okay. We did okay. We landed one of like 7 A potential prospects in this entire draft. We did okay. That said, our focus is on the rest of this season. Now, really quickly, contract extensions. Are there any players who are looking to make very, very little money? $2 million for Luis Trujillo per season seems like a safe bet. Can I offer him less? What about 1.5? Cool. So Trujillo's back. Gary Dixon wants an actual contract. Ozzy Esposito, yeah, he'll be cheap enough. Honestly, could go 5 years at 3.1 and just give him a raise now to hopefully save money for later. He is struggling at the major league level, but he is just 21 years old. I'm going to go for the long-term investment of pay him a good chunk of change now in hopes that we technically save money in the long run. He says he doesn't want to be locked into a contract that long. So maybe we don't have a choice. What about 3 years? Just to save a little bit of money. Honestly, nah, we might as well just go into the renewable stage at that point. Yeah, okay. Well, he's back for 2 years. Rafael Torreiro, another super young reliever. Down in AAA, who has barely played. He's close, though. 6 years at 2.8. If he'll take a deal like this, I'm willing to do it because we know we'll save money long term. He also doesn't want that long of a deal. So we'll go about $800K for 3 years after this. Adrian Ortega, who's a little bit older. We'll go 1 year dirt cheap, $800K. That works. David Sung, the veteran. I'd still like to keep him around long term if we can go. Honestly, just the 2 arbitration years. He's 36, but it's worth having him even in AAA. Ken Hahn, 32, wants a big boy contract. We'll see what happens. That was a 199 batting average he has this year in limited sample size. Israel Gutierrez is going to want a big boy deal. Joe Dale still has some arbitration time left, which is nice. Hinojosa wants a big boy contract. DJ Liss wants a big boy contract. So these 5 will head to the offseason unsigned. Whether or not they head to free agency, that's an entirely different question. But that could be a rough loss for the team as we win 3 out of 4 against Milwaukee. 69-42. Second best team in baseball, only behind Seattle by 1 game. Riley's been great. Gill has not. Hiller's been great. Dyer has not. Trujillo has not. Nor has Dixon. Jesus. Oh, God. What are we going to do? The team is winning, but do we address clear problem players? Like Ozzie Esposito hasn't really been ready for prime time here. That's always, it's an NHL-like question. Do you edit the team or do you adjust the team when winning, even though you can see a clear issue, including Ken Hahn at shortstop? We got to get Ramon Hinojosa in there. Got to get Hinojosa in there. Liss has hit very, very well. Limited at bats for Gaucho. Liss wouldn't be the worst player to get in there, but we're not going to adjust anything yet. I don't feel good about not adjusting this team based off of the struggles, but I think we will let it ride. Wow, Jose Lima's overall has fucking plummeted. My man. So was Spencer's for that matter, and he's not even that old. The problem is, Rafael Torreiro is our best call-up. I mean, again, these guys are kind of the guys for the bullpen now. We don't have too many other guys that can be called up. We lost a lot of our depth in the pen. It would be a long reliever. In fairness, Adlin and Garcia are tearing up AAA right now. I think we're just going to let it go. I think we're just going to let it go and see what happens until we potentially start collapsing. 4 games against Atlanta. We swept them. And it begins. The second we put Hinojosa into the lineup, he tore his hamstring. The second we put him into the lineup. Rick McCann is a shortstop. He's just not as good of a fielder. So he will play shortstop, and we'll put DJ Liss at DH. Actually, we'll put Tim Coe at DH. I mean, he's definitely more of a prototypical DH, and we'll get DJ Liss in its center. So we take a bit of a hit defensively at shortstop. But that does mean we get DJ Lisson at center field. And get Tim Coe out of the outfield where, well, he's fast, but he's not a great defender. 3 games against Cincinnati. These are big games. We lose the series. 3 games against the Mets. We lose the series. 3 games against the Twins. We swept them. St. Louis. We win the series. 4 games against the Cubs. We lose 3 out of 4. Royals. We lose 2 out of 3. And split 2 games. And ultimately win the series against the Cardinals. Final game of August is a loss to Milwaukee. September 1st, we are 84-54. We have a 7-game lead on the Reds. 75 wins are enough to be a wild card team right now, meaning we are 9 games up in that fashion. This would take one hell of a collapse. Luis Mortero tore his rotator cuff. That's bad. Oh, that's real bad. Don't let that be a career ender. That would be rough. September call-ups. The pitching staff has actually been doing very good. Ortega, not so much as the setup, man. Jesus Christ. Adline has been awesome. So was Garcia. Hendricks, not so much. If we don't go for one of those guys as the pitcher call-up, it's Torero. But I got to be honest, another starting pitcher is probably a smart decision. Given our lack of trust for certain pitchers. It's Casey Adline's time. He gets called up in September. Position player-wise, shout out to Hitoki Sato. Jesus, this guy's a monster. 278 is up to a 78. 25 home runs. Reyna's not bad. Fodor only hitting 218. No shit, is that going to be Sato? It would leave us without a AAA catcher. So maybe not. For that reason, Mr. Sato. Honestly, I think it can just be Reyna because they won't miss him as much. Single A. Let's get these 2 guys in triple to help fill out that roster. Perfect. Fred, I think you ought to check the YouTube side of things, my friend. I think you oughta. There we go. So Adline and Dixon as the long relievers for the moment. Let's keep it going. Finish up the series against Milwaukee. Did somebody else get hurt? How? Didn't I have enough people? How did I not have enough people? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I mean, Martin Lopez has killed it. When you're considered old in baseball. That's around the same time in hockey, I'd say. Around the same time as hockey. Either Leon or Lopez. Let's go for Martin Lopez. Martin Lopez, welcome to the team, buddy. All right, we do lose that series to Milwaukee. Atlanta swept them. And they're not a bad team. 7.5 up on the Cubs. 4 games against Washington. 3 out of 4. It's not confirmed yet, but it's very, very close. The Pirates are likely going back to the playoffs. We only win 1 out of 3 against the Yankees. Thank God, we're going back. Step 1 in the books. We are going back to the postseason. AAA Ball Club just finished under 500. AA Ball Club also under 5. Somebody else just got hurt. it's only for a week or two, but Vince Messer and Ricky McCann are both a little bit roughed up right now. Not great. Not great at all. Leone's not on the 40, man. Who can I call up? Who can I call up? AAA season's over. We definitely need the time off, no doubt. Let's call up Ronaldo Garcia. He was very good. Only a few games left. 97-65. The Pirates are back in the playoffs again. And we indeed get a first round bye. Colorado, though, is the #1 seed. Step 1 in the books. We're back in the playoffs. Thank God. Oh, thank God. And we're going to have an award winner as well. Okay. First and foremost, the injured list. Hinojosa should be back for the playoffs. So should Messer. And obviously Mortero and Williamson. Mortero's not showing up as 6+ months, so his career shouldn't be over. But we should have Messer and Hinojosa back for the first round. Thank God. How many seasons? Only 2. We missed last year. It was the year before last that we made the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. We only missed that 1 year. NL MVP, Colorado's Justin Brown, of course, formerly of Oakland, for those who have been following this franchise. That's like his 7th. Shout out to Oz for the sub. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Unless it's the ounce 4. Could it be? Maybe you're just a big fan of measurements. Thank you for the subscription. Welcome in. Enjoy a random collection of emotes. And this game trying to ruin my life, among other franchise modes, looking to accomplish the same thing. It's great. No familiar names, AL MVP-wise. Oh, yeah, his attributes are nuts. I mean, look at this fucking guy. Again, he went from Oakland to Coors. Of course, his attribute as a switch hitter. We would have won 7 World Series by now if we had drafted that guy. Let's see. NL Cy Young, Grant Riley finished 3rd. What a great season for Grant, though. Finally living up to his potential. This guy with a 4.2. How? 19-5. Grant Riley got robbed. You're going to have him finish 2 spots behind Rouse because of 4 extra wins? That's insane. At least give it to Fairchild for the strikeout. Grant Riley got robbed of this Cy Young award. I will say it. Say it with your chest. Oh, yeah, it values wins a ton. Batting title, Justin Brown, because, of course, reliever of the year, as you would have seen, is our closer, Jose Irizarry. 57 saves, 63 Ks. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hopefully you don't immediately decline in overall like the last guy to win reliever of the year did in Howie Galloway. Rookie of the year was the Cardinals' Giancarlo Rivera. Did we have any Hank Aaron winners? A Gold Glove for Russell Hiller. Well, 2nd behind Katimer. Just bullshit. Any Gold Gloves? Vince Messer finished 2nd. Ricky Gutierrez, back-to-back Gold Gloves at 2nd base. It was a good decision to move him there. I don't know how he won it. Chris Gill got robbed. Absolutely robbed. Absolutely. He played DH for the final month and a half, chat. Because he can't field. And he won a Gold Glove. This freaking game. Freitas wins the Gold Glove at center field. I mean, given his fielding ability, the former shortstop turned outfielder. Yeah. And Pena. Ooh, first year as our right fielder. Ivan Pena. his potential dropped down, but good for Ivan, winning a Gold Glove. All three of our outfielders won the Gold Glove. Maurice Burnett finished second for Silver Slugger behind Marlins' Ken Clement, who the award's going to be named after in the future. Ricky Gutierrez finished third at second base. So clearly our defense is on point. But now we get to sit there and decide the playoff roster, and it's about to get so stressful.